All right, Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. By Hashem Mashiach Malak Yahushai. That is to say, Yahweh, being named the Heavenly Father, who the world will call God, and Yahushai, being named his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. This brother Kasadi from WFI Jersey, Philly. Mosai willing, Yasha Allah, you're enjoying your new moon, right? Mosai willing, right? Happy new moon to all the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Nevertheless, through the spirit, we're still gonna, touch on a few different topics real quick. Chiefly, the Most High putting life and death before us, and we gotta extend our hand, to what we want in this thing, man. Right? Do you want to? This is something that I always think about. Let me actually kick it off with Sirach. This is something that I think about whenever I'm feeling down in the spirit, whenever I feel like I haven't been doing enough. I kind of refer back to this, pursuing the book of Jude, the first chapter, or, Jude, the 22nd verse, right? Going into some men you can have compassion with, right? Some men and women, you can have compassion on them and they could turn around and get themselves right. But others you got to save with fear, pull them out of the fire, hating even a garment spotted by the flesh. So when you pull somebody out of the fire, you're just grabbing them up, throwing them out the window. You don't care they break a leg, break an arm, damn, crunch their toe. It don't matter. As long as they got out that fire. So certain, you got to save with fear, man. And it seems as if my spirit, better resonate with someone, getting on me as far as showing me, look, this is death that's coming soon. And that's one of the styles I use when I teach through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshai to provoke Jake to come back to this thing, man. Right? Because like I said, some people you can break it down to them and they can kind of be sorrowful and have that godly sorrow and they come back in this thing in that way. Or others, you got to get on a little bit and knock off that damn tough skin that they may have acquired through their life and get through them, right? And certain men, or even maybe they never had that tough skin and they didn't be built up with that tough skin if you have ears to hear, right? So everything you do in your life, you got to consider the end, right? This is Sirach chapter 28. And I'm going to start at verse 6. Sirach 28 and 6. It says, and Salakia for the glare. You know what's going on. It's damn iPhone. Right? Whoever said iPhone is better, you bugging. This Sirach 28 and verse 6. It says, remember thy end and let enmity cease. So the Lord said, remember the end. Then you're supposed to let enmity cease, right? Enmity between you and your brother, you and your loved one. Right, that fighting, that riffraff, you let that slide, man. Cause you know what's next. You know what's coming in the earth, man. Right, you letting these plagues and pestilences, you forgetting about those things. You forgetting about the prophecy of nuclear death, nuclear destruction. You forgetting about Jacob's trouble and dying and being beheaded and different things like that. Go and watch the movie Apocalypto. Just for some of the things that's going to happen in the earth again. Right? They may flay your skin. They may chop you up and eat you and take your heart out. Cannibalism's coming back on the earth. Famine is going to be on this earth. These different things will happen. So it's time for you to pick. Do you want life or do you want death? Do you want to die in this filthy ass Babylon? Right? Or do you want to make it out and most are willing to see the chariots and be delivered by that? Be beamed up and watch destruction befall your enemies? Be placed back in your homeland and live thousands and millions of generations with your forefathers and your loved ones in the kingdom, in paradise. Right? Don't you want paradise? Well, you know how to get there. The Lord showed you how to get there. He gave us the blueprint. Like he gave David the blueprint to build the temple. And he's given us the blueprint to build a temple as well, if you have ears to hear. Right? That's what we're known as the house of David. This is Sirach chapter 28 and verse 6. Remember thy end and let enmity cease. Remember corruption and death and abide in the commandments. So the Lord said, remember these things and abide in those commandments. Remember what death is going to come on earth and abide in those commandments. Remember those nukes is going to hit Times Square. It's going to hit DC. It's going to hit Chicago. It's going to hit LA. It's going to knock down that San Francisco bridge, right? Whatever it's called. That damn big red bridge that's over there in San Francisco. All right, that's going to be knocked down. Remember what's going to happen at Dallas, Texas, Remember what's going to happen in Houston, Texas. Remember what's going to happen to the Liberty Bell over in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Remember, I mean, Camden is already finished, Camden, New Jersey, so ain't no nuke got to hit that. But just in general, remember all the different things are going to happen on the 12, upon the four corners of the earth. And if you still caught up in this thing, if you're still in the world, then it's going to befall some of these 12 tribes of Israel, right? The 2/3 of Israel. So that's what we got to remember in our mind. We got to, pretty much, you got an opportunity right now on a lower level to choose if you want life or you want death. Right, let's go to Sirach 15. This Sirach chapter 15 and verse 16. He has set fire and water before thee. Stretch forth thy hand unto whither thou wilt. So the Lord said he put fire and water before you. He's giving you on a lower level. He's giving you life and he's giving you death. It's going to tell you that in verse 17. Before man is life and death, and whether him liking shall be given him. So what you like is what you're going to be given to. If you like death, then that shows, you can show that you like death by you not reading. Right? And look, we can't act like we haven't been there. We all been there. We all been there not reading. We all been there not studying. We all been there not fasting. And if you're there right now, you need to get out of that. That's death. You choosing death. The only way is life is through Yahweh in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai. Reading, studying, believing in his word. Eating his real bread and you'll never hunger again. Drinking his true water, you'll never thirst again. So again, before man is life and death, and whether him liking shall be given him. Right? So, hey, the Most High, he's not a man to play games. The Lord doesn't say things and he's just bluffing. The Lord is not a man that he should lie. Right? Let me get that real quick. The Most High say he's not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. Right? Let me get this. I believe that's in Numbers 23. Right? Let me find this. All right. So the Most High, right? He's not a man that he should lie. Give me 1 second. Let me find this precept. If I can find this thing. I believe it's in Numbers, the 23rd chapter. But if not, I could come back to it. All right. So you got to understand where you at in this thing. The Most High, he's not playing games, man. We know that the Most High is a man of war. We know the Most High, he brings judgment on these nations. We know the Most High is the one that's killing and bringing forth these pestilences and plagues that's in the earth. Right? And we're not going to say certain things because we know how Esau moves when you say certain things that's happening out in the earth. Right? So let me get another precept. So the Most High, like I said, he's the one that's bringing these different things in the earth. So it's best that you get down with the Most High. Right? I bring this out when I go out and teach. It's either you're going to get down or you're going to lay down. Right? Which one you going to choose? Are you going to get down with the Lord or are you going to lay down? Right? And when you lay down, you laying down for good. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 4, and I'm going to start at verse 8. It says, and again the devil taking him up into an exceeding high mountain and showed from all the kingdoms of the world in the glory of them, and said unto them, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. And we know Satan, he wants you to fall down and worship him. How you do that is by not serving the Lord. That's why it says, if you will fall down and worship him. Because when you serving the Lord, the Most High will exalt you. Right? He will exalt your spirit. You're above others that's in the earth because you're serving the only true God that's in the earth, the Most High. Right? So you're now partaker of the inheritance of the same thing that Yahweh Shai will have when it reads, like it reads in Romans, the 8th chapter and the 17th verse. Shalakia, we'll now be co-heirs with Yahweh Shai. As long as you endure the affliction that he endured, the different trials and tribulations against Satan, right? You got to endure those things. And look, when you struggle with those things, you got the Lord to lean on. He's your rock, right? You got to call upon the name of the Lord. When you're feeling down, you're feeling weak, feel like no one's around, no one can help you, no one's there to lift you up, right? Of course, you can reach out to a brother or sister, but at the end of the day, you need Yahweh in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai. Right? So let's read on. Verse 9. And he said unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. And that's what Satan wants you to do. He wants you to worry about the things of this life. When you worry about the things of this life, you lost your life. Let me get that real quick. This is Matthew. St. Matthew chapter 10. And I'm going to start at verse 39. It says, he that findeth his life shall lose it. So if you worry about the life that's here, then you lost your true life. Because this ain't life. This is hell for us. No matter what you do, you get to the top, you got to sell out to get to the top. Them entertainers, them athletes, LeBron James, Jay-Z, Beyonce, J. Cole, right? Drake, Kendrick Lamar. These men, women, they've sold out. Either they getting bent over or they killed their brother to get fame and success in his life. And how was that truly success? They just brought evil to their household. They're literally signing their soul away to receive a nuclear missile blast. Is that what you want? You want a few $1 million, but the cost is that you gotta be burnt up and your flesh is gonna be burning and you're gonna look like damn chocolate milk and everything is gonna decay and your teeth is gonna be gone and your eyeballs is never gonna be there ever again and your brain is gonna melt and ooze and all your organs gonna fall apart and evaporate back into the dust that it was from? Do you want that? I had a brother tell me that he wants to get the benefits of being in the military. And he was thinking about that. He wants a decent paying job. I mean, look, of course you don't want to, you know, the goal is to be able to sustain yourself and have, you know, to be able to take care of your family if you have that and whatnot, and be able to take care of yourself. But that's not at the cost of bowing down with Esau, thinking you're going to just be able to slide in Esau's society. When that persecution starts, and it's going to be very soon, you're going to be the first one that they go looking for. If you have fringes, if you know you're an Israelite, they're going to be able to track all of that. They're already tracking all of that right now. They can tie all of that. They have they call it a carbon footprint. And everything you ever do, everything you ever search, they have all that access to it. Right? Especially those that love to get a damn iPhone. Everything is tracked on this iPhone. A few years ago, Apple gave out all the data of all our users over to the federal government. Y'all just forgot about that one. So we've been dealing with this. Go and look up this man named Edward Snowden. He been gave out the basically the blueprint and what, you know, he was working with the CIA and NSA, the National Security Association, and or agency, and he basically exposed all of that. And then when he exposed all that, because he was the man that was actually working on something, what the hell was it called? It's called Stellar Wind, the Stellar Wind project or program that was over in the CIA. And they may even flag the video just for us speaking on all of that. But nevertheless, he left and he went over to Russia, and now he's hiding out in Russia because if he comes back over to America, he's going to be tried with the Espionage Act because he was a whistleblower. He's a whistleblower. And he's an Edomite. But nevertheless, the Most High has used them to show us that, look, they're tracking us. And they've been doing this since the so-called Patriot Act. So if you really want to make it in a society, you ain't making nothing. I mean, it's any day now. It's any day now. Any man that has some type of sense can see that these plagues is going on in the earth. These prophecies are going on in the earth. And they're not by accident. It's no accident that all the waters, all the oceans is drying up now. All the rivers. They just had a river. I don't know where it was at, but they had this lake dry up or river dry up, and it's revealing damn World War II ships. When was World War II? We talking about 1930s to 1945 when it ended. Right when America dropped those two nukes on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, Japan, in August 6th and August 9th of 1945. We're talking about since 1945, these ships from World War II is now popping up. And that's just by accident. They're finding bodies that was cold cased for damn decades, and now they just popping up. Dead bodies. And you think it's just an accident. Look, if you don't choose the Lord, then you just die right now. just turn the video off and go die, right? Just be ready for a nuke. That's how it really comes down to, man. That's what the Lord is telling you right here, man. Remember, Yahweh Shai, he's not speaking like an Edomite. He's telling you, let's read again. This is St. Matthew 10 and verse 39. He that findeth his life shall lose it. He's not speaking, oh, he that findeth his life shall lose it. And he that, no, he's not speaking like that, man. He's telling you, and he's an austere man, right? He's an austere man. Go and read John, the 2nd chapter, when he flipped over the tables, right? When it was selling on the Passover and try to make the house of the Lord a merchandise, right? It was going off in the temple. When Yahweh Shai saw all of that, he made himself some scourges, some whips, and he got on Jake, man. So he's telling you, if you try to find your life in this thing, if you try to make it in this society, right, then what? And it's like you shall lose it. And he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. But if you put in the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahshai first and foremost, then the Lord said you'll be able to find your life. Meaning what? You'll find true life. So I gotta leave, and I don't want a brother to I know he's about to call me soon. So I don't want this video to be interrupted. So I'm gonna leave with this last verse. Right? Damn, Lord willing, I could be able to get another verse after this. But this is the book of Genesis, right? Chapter 4, verse 6. You gotta think about this. Every day you should think about this. Right? This is Genesis chapter 4, verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? Right? If you were to serve the Lord, doing what you can do, right? Repenting, fasting weekly, praying, reading, doing your studying. Shall the Lord not accept you? Is the Lord going to cast you off for doing those things, for serving him? So let's read on. And if thou doest not well, meaning you don't do those things, you're not reading, you're not studying, you're not praying, what do you think is going to happen? What is supposed to happen to you? You showing the Lord you don't believe in the Lord because you're not doing the things he told you to do. So what happened then? Is he going to let bygones be bygones? Is he going to give you a get out of jail free card? You kind of just do whatever you want to do and you still make it? Is that going to happen? Are you David? Do you have the sure mercies of David? The salt covenant? Don't play yourself. The Lord said, if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Meaning at your door, meaning at your mind, right? That's your door, right? I'm gonna get this quick verse. Most I willing, the brother don't call me and interrupt this video. But this is Revelation chapter 3, and I want 20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me. So Yahweh Shai said he's standing at your door and knock. He's not at your front door or your back door. And he's banging and kicking down the door. He kind of kicked down the door like the police. That's not what's going on. But he's at your mind. He's knocking at your mind and he's trying to come into you and he's trying to break down a word to you. But every day when you reject the Lord, hey, that's another chance you don't got in this earth to repent. That's another chance that might have been your last chance. All right. So, hey, the Lord says, sin will life at the door, and unto him shall his desire be. Meaning Satan will rule over your mind. There's a battle. You either going to let the Lord rule over your mind or you're going to let Satan rule over your mind. Which one is it? You got life and you got death. You got everlasting salvation, a crown of life and joy, serving Yahweh Shem Yahshai, or you got nuclear missiles you got to eat. And your skin being flayed. And wild beasts fighting over each part of your limbs. So, with that, I bid a strong shalom. Continue to watch for these prophecies. Continue to endure. Continue to make it call and election sure in these last days. I'm going to actually end it off with this. Right? In this second Ezra. Right? Let's leave it off on a little better note. Right? To show you the hope. Right? This second Ezra chapter 8. And I'm going to start at verse 51. It says what? But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. For unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteous is made ready, a city is builded, and rest is allowed. Yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom. The root of evil is sealed up from you, weakness in the moth is hid from you, and corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. Sorrows are past, and in the end is shown the treasure of immortality. So with that, Kwame Asharala, continue to endure. Shalom.